for this.
You called Uncle Paul
Yeah,
to wish him Happy New Year. Thank you very much. Well, he'll be very happy. Was he happy to see you, to hear you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the first call he's had from you in 3 years. And you're 8 years old, so I think that's not your fault. But I think you should ask yourself, why have you never thought of calling him? You know what I'd say? Because I remember being a little boy. I remember I was so busy playing I never thought of anything except what I was doing. So that's why, really, that you're just busy and you never thought of it, did you? So what happens if you were playing and playing so hard? Would you spend 3 days playing without thinking of calling Mummy?
No.
So what's happened that you don't think of calling all of your other living relatives? Like your dad or your uncle or Auntie Goy. Do you know, remember Auntie Goy? Do you know Auntie Goy really loves you? She was the one who always played with you the most in Thailand. She's always waiting and wanting to say hello to you. All of her family are there. Did you see the house was full, or did you just do an audio call?
I did a FaceTime.
Oh, well done, son. But it's a shame that you had to be told to do it. It's very important in life to make an effort. Like, instead of me just feeding myself, I wake up and send you a message, don't I say? Happy New Year, son. Did you see the fireworks go when you opened the message?
Fireworks?
Oh, so you didn't open my messages yet? Well, you can open your messages because I sent you about 10 messages today. Some of them telling you off and some of them wishing you a Happy New Year. But when Daddy wakes up and his own son doesn't even wish him Happy New Year, even answer the message, and Daddy sees that if Mummy sends a message, Angelo answers straight away. If Daddy sends a message, Angelo ignores it. It's not very nice, is it? That's bad manners. Do you know what manners, good manners is?
Yes.
Yeah, well, you're a bad-mannered little boy, but I'm not angry with you because the reason you're a bad-mannered little boy is because the person you live with hasn't taught you any manners. Do you remember when we were in the Holiday Inn together last week? Hello?
Hello?
Do you remember when Daddy came to the Holiday Inn last week and we were playing together all day?
Yeah, what about?
Well, didn't I make you call Mummy sometimes?
About one time.
Every day?
No.
Yes, I did. I made you call Mummy every day and I made you send messages.
No.
No?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
You sound like Mummy. I made you send a message to Mummy every day. And I sent messages to on my phone. And we used my phone that you can send messages because I've still got them on my phone. And I can show them to you tonight when you FaceTime me.
Okay.
And so I have proof that you sent a message to Mummy every day and you called her every day when we were there. Because I think when you're away from Mummy, even though you're with Daddy, Mummy's worrying, so it's nice to call her and just say, we're just going to the pool, or we're having a sauna, or whatever. And I always teach you that. Because it's important to, if you're not with Mummy's working, that you send her a message. Sometimes it's nice. She's very happy to receive it, isn't she? Well, what about me? Don't you think I'd be happy to receive a message from you? Well, how come you've never answered a single message of mine in 4 months? Mummy says it's because you don't want to. Don't you want to message me? Hello?
Hello?
Don't do that Singaporean thing of refusing to answer because the only answer proves that you are wrong. Singaporeans do that. Singaporeans do that and they're a bunch of chickens. because of that. If you see somebody pick up a piece of dog poo and say, "You picked up a piece of dog poo, didn't you?" they'll just look at you and not say anything because they don't want to admit the truth. Now you answer. Don't give me that Singaporean silence when a question doesn't leave you with an excuse to wheedle your way out of it. That's very Singaporean. Your dad's Thai British, and we don't accept that. We accept an answer, be it for right or wrong. That's good manners. Now don't you think, do you want to message Daddy or not?
I try harder.
You'll try harder, but why haven't you never messaged me?
I don't know.
You don't know. So it's not that you don't want to, or is it because you don't want to? I need to know, son, because I'm messaging you all day and I'm wasting my time talking to somebody who doesn't talk back to me. If you kept speaking to somebody and they just refused to talk to you, would you stop talking to them? You would in the end, wouldn't you? You'd just give up, wouldn't you? Huh? Answer.
Yeah.
Well, should I give up? Because you're not answering my messages. You have been taught that you don't need to. So it's not your fault, son. I'm not angry with you. But do you know what's very sad for Daddy? That the person who has done that is not the person getting told off. The person getting told off is the person who doesn't deserve being told off. And that's you. You're being told off for not messaging me. But you're not messaging me because your mummy didn't teach you properly. And I've told you in the hotel, when you come to Thailand, I will make sure that you send messages every couple of hours to mummy to let you know what we're up to and what fun we're having or where we've gone to and what we're eating and stuff like that, and send her a photo. It's called keeping in touch. They invented this thing, you know, Apple invented a thing called iMessage, and somebody else invented a thing called a camera, and they put it inside a thing called an iPhone. And do you know what people use it for? To send pictures to each other so you can update. Do you know what update each other's lives mean? Because if you live far away and you update yourselves, you and mummy, all the time, and you're only about 200 meters away from each other, you're only halfway across town. Daddy's 2,000 miles away. And so it's very important to update each other. You see Daddy send you photos of the reparations on the house, that we're building the gate, and I show you new photos of things I'm doing. I show you how I'm making a sausage sandwich. I show you my daily activities. So it makes us feel like we're together and not so far away. And mummy says you don't want to call me. Mummy says you don't want to message me. And mummy says that you and mummy want me to leave you alone and let you live your lives. So is that what you want me to do? Do you want me to go away and leave you both alone so you don't need a daddy, just you and mummy against the world? Is that what you want? Because mummy says that's what you want.
No.
Do you want me to go away? Do you want me to leave you alone? Answer, son. Don't do that Singaporean thing. It's a question. Let your feelings out and tell me your true feelings. Do you want daddy to go away? Stop listening to mummy and tell me your feelings. Don't parrot what people tell you. Because this is a very serious moment, son, because if you want me to go away, I will. I want to know what you want, not what mummy tells you to say. And mummy says I am disrupting your and mummy's life. Unfortunately, children don't just have a mummy, they have a mummy and a daddy and a family. And mummy is disrupting my life. Because
Can I think?
Yeah, you need to think, because it's very difficult for a little boy. But if you say you want me to go away, I will. And that'll be the last of it. Then you can be happy, you don't have to message, you won't get any messages, you won't have to FaceTime call, and it'll be just you and mummy. And I'll be gone. Is that what you want? I know that sounds very cruel to say, but I want what you want, and mummy says that's what you want. So I will do what you want. So what do you want, son? Tell me what you want.
And I think.
Okay, well, I want you to think about if you want Daddy to go away or not. And I want you to think about if you want to come to Thailand for holidays or not. And I want you to tell me, because I'm not going to spend the next 2 years wasting my time on somebody who doesn't want to know me. Because I love you, son, and all of my life is dedicated to you. And so what's the point in dedicating my life to somebody who doesn't want to know me or see me? You never said thank you for a single Pokemon card. You never said thank you for a single present I gave you. You never said thanks, Dad. That's not your fault. You haven't been taught to say thank you. I love you, son, and I'm very sorry I have to talk to you about these things. It's the only thing I have left, is that Mummy is telling me you want me to go away and you don't want to come to Thailand and that you don't want to message. I said Mummy's bad because if you said I don't want to brush my teeth, as a good father I would say, well, I know you don't want to, son, but you have rights to do what you want, but there are certain things I have to make you, because if you don't brush your teeth, they're going to fall out. So if you were living with me and you said, I don't want to brush my teeth and get a shower, I'd say, well, you're going to, son. Get in that shower and brush your teeth. And that's why when I send you a message and you don't answer me, a good mummy would say, it doesn't matter if you don't want to, son. Have some good manners and answer your dad, because if you don't, you'll upset him. And it's bad manners. And it is bad manners. And so I'm sorry you have to think, son, because you shouldn't have to think about this at 8 years old. But if I don't make you think about it now, by the time you're 10, you'll be completely brainwashed, and you'll be saying, no, I don't want to see you, Dad, I hate you. And you'll be telling me about all these things you remember me doing, what never actually happened. Do you know if you tell a story enough times, you start believing it? Have you ever heard that saying?
No.
If you tell a story that's not true enough times, you tell it 1,000 times, in the end you forget it's not true and you start believing it. That's called brainwashing. So that's why I don't blame you. But you're the one who gets told off because you're the one who doesn't answer the messages. And the person who's just got told off now is Mummy for not teaching you to answer them. I don't have a single message from you and I'm absolutely appalled by it, son. I'm absolutely hurt that you make no effort. And it's these stupid FaceTime calls because you have to call at 7 o'clock. It's like you say, if you have to stop watching TV at 8 o'clock and go to bed, the word 8 o'clock becomes something you hate because it means you have to stop doing what you want and do something you don't want, and that you have to call Daddy at 7 o'clock. That have to bit, it makes it feel like it's something you don't want to do, whereas actually you shouldn't have to call me at 7 o'clock. What you should do is do what you do with Mummy, which is what? You don't call Mummy at 7 o'clock every day. Instead, what do you do to keep in touch? Eh? Mr. New Year? What do you do? What do you do to keep in touch with Mummy? When you talk to Mummy, do you talk to her because you have to call her, or do you talk to her because you want to?
Want to.
Right. Well, when you call me, it should be because you want to, when you want to. But you don't, because you've been taught not to want to. Or you've been distracted so you forget and never think about it. But if I lived in Singapore, I'd be picking you up from school and you'd be sitting with me at home for 4 hours every day. And you'd see me that much that when you went back to Mummy's, you would be messaging me. And if we were all still together, you'd be doing what you did every day, which was coming to Daddy's room, into the bedroom every day, crying about 5 times, saying, Dad, Mummy won't let me have an ice cream. Or, Dad, Mummy hit me. And I would go out and have a talk with Mum. And sometimes I'd have a big argument because some of the things she did were terrible. But I never taught you to not answer your mum and not message her And I never taught you to not care. And I never taught you to be scared of your mum. But you should be. You should be, because she's brainwashing you. She once poured bleach all over you, trying to kill herself. And when I asked her, why did you do that with my son in your lap? She said, because I was taking him with me. We belong together. If Mummy was falling off a cliff and you were in her arms and I was stood safe and she was able to throw you to me so I could save you, she wouldn't. She'd take you with her, because you belong together. That's the wrong kind of love, son. That's the kind of love that does not give you your freedom, does not give you your rights. And it's the kind of love that thinks you belong to her and that she can take your daddy away from you and teach you that you don't need a daddy. It's not right, son. And so you have to think. And it's very hard to think. I had to think about this and I couldn't answer. I was put in court. I was in the court. My mummy and daddy, they called me in because the judge said, I don't believe either of you. I want to hear what the little boy says. And the little boy asked, the judge asked me, do you know what he asked me, son? He said, do you want to live with mummy or do you want to live with daddy? That's like saying, would you like to keep your left leg and have your right leg cut off? Or would you like to have your right leg and have your left leg cut off? It's an answer you cannot answer, son, because do you know what? You want both your legs. You don't want to lose either leg. And it's the same with the mummy and daddy. You don't want to lose either of them. And if there's anybody who needs telling off, it's not you. It's mummy and daddy. Because now you don't have both legs on one body. You've got daddy, that's one leg in Thailand, and you've got mummy, the other leg, in Singapore. And you can't live in both places. So what's important, the person you don't live with, the parent you don't live with, you're supposed to keep in contact. Because if you don't, you start forgetting. So what I want you to think about, and I need an answer, so I can do what you want, not what mummy tells me you want, but what you want. And you better make the right answer, because whatever you answer is going to change and influence everything. Now if your answer is yes, I do want to message with you, and I do want you to come and see me, and I do want to come to stay in my other home in Thailand for holidays, then everything will be fine, and daddy will have to be able to stop talking about all this horrible stuff. But if your answer is, no, I don't want to talk to you, and no, I don't want you to come and see me, and no, I don't want to come to Thailand, then that will be a different thing will happen. The messages will get deleted, the FaceTime calls will stop, and you'll never come to Thailand, and you won't see daddy again. Because if that's what you want, son, I want what you want, and I'll do what you want. So you better decide if you want a daddy or not. Yes or no. And I need that answer soon. And I'll do what you want. And if you say you don't, then you'll lose your daddy, and I guarantee you by the time you're 18, you'll realise that something very bad happened. Because everybody has a daddy. And when people grow up, it's the daddy who sorts them out and gets them a job or gives them the money to set themselves up and gives them a home. So I'm not having a happy new year, son. I wish you a very happy new year. You didn't wish me one. But anyway. And you're allowed to call me. I told you in the hotel, you're allowed to call me as many times as you want a day. But if you don't, then you have to call me once a day. And if that's have to, well, even I get it, son. When it's 5 o'clock here and I'm working, haven't finished my work yet, and I know the call's coming, it interrupts my life too. But I look forward to it, because all I want to do is be with you and see you and talk with you and play with you. But I understand you might be watching a movie or playing outside, and all of a sudden mum has to tell you, you have to go make that FaceTime call, and you start to dread it. It's not supposed to be something you dread, and that rule makes you dread. Do you know what the word dread means? Like Judge Dredd. Do you know what dread means?
Yes.
It means to hate it, to not want it to happen, to like fear it. Mummy says you're scared of me. She says you don't want me. She says you don't want to come to Thailand. Mummy says you don't want to come to Thailand, which I don't believe. I know my mum had a swimming pool and a boat and God knows what a fantastic house in sunny Malta. There's no way that I would not want to go. You've got that big garden here, it's your playing garden. You've got your own swimming pool. Your daddy's not cruel to you, I don't hit you. I buy you loads of presents, I try to play with you. I exhaust myself in the pool doing what you tell me to do. So, I don't know what you're scared of Daddy for. Are you scared of Daddy? Are you scared of Daddy? Son? Darling? Are you scared of Daddy? Angelo? Hello? Hello, son? Are you there?
No.
Are you scared of Daddy? Is somebody trying to tell you what to say?
No.
Well, answer the question then. Have some manners, boy. Are you scared of Daddy? Yes or no? Or in some ways?
In some ways.
Can you tell me what scares you? Is what kind of thing can scare you? And then I can change it for you. Because I don't want to scare you. What's scary? What makes you scared? I don't know, son. If I know, I can change it. Daddy's voice, or Daddy's movements, or Daddy's face, or when Daddy shouts, or is it because of memories, or what is it? I don't know why you're scared of your daddy, son, because I'm here to protect you, not to hurt you. What have I ever done? Apart from what you said in the hotel. I don't know why you're scared. I didn't run away with you and stop you seeing Mummy. Can you hear that? Can you hear that noise? Can you hear that? It's just a flock of birds just landed in the tree. Loads of them. Wow. You see, you'd be out there playing with the birds in your garden then. You'd be going, Dad, look at those birds. And you'd be going out there trying to catch one. And they'd all fly away. Well, son, thank you for calling me. Even though you wouldn't have done if somebody didn't tell you. I'd like you to try to learn to answer your messages. If not, Daddy will stop messaging. And I'd like you to decide if you want Daddy to keep coming to see you, or if you want Daddy to leave you alone. And I want to know an answer that do you want to be able to come to Thailand on holidays or not? That's the most important question. I really need an answer to that. I want to know what you want, because I'm fighting very hard and I'm spending a lot of money with, I don't know what to call them, the United Nations and other organisations, because you should be allowed to travel, and Singapore is breaking a rule that they made with the rest of the world that says every little child whose parents live in different countries can leave and enter his own country to see his other parent, and you're not allowed to do that. And I want to know if you want to do that or not, because when you're 10, right, you're going to do that because Daddy's coming to get you, and you have to do that when you're 10, and you're going to do it about 8 times a year for a total of 47 days, which is about 2.5 months. So you will spend 2.5 months in Thailand every year. It might be in 8 visits or it might be in 3, but you will be coming to Thailand. And so what I want to know before you have to come, I want to know, do you actually want to come? Don't you want to have holidays in Thailand? a week of fun. Hey, laddie Lou? Hey? Son, I'm talking to you, answer me. Bad manners. At least I am thinking. Okay, I know that. I'm very sorry, son, to make you think. It's a horrible thing to think about. Because what you have to do to think is, it's as if you've got a cake with icing on, right? And let's say the icing is your first thoughts, what you're first thinking and feeling. And the cake itself is the bit that you can't see under the icing. That's your true feelings, right? Think of it like a cake, and that's why it's hard for you to think, because to think, your first thoughts are going to respond by saying, I want you to go away, Daddy. But as soon as your mouth wants to say that, you don't say it. Because something deep inside thinks, ooh, if I say that, then things get really bad. And do you know what that means? That means the icing hides what's really inside. And so the feelings you think you're feeling are the feelings your mum has programmed into the top of your brain. But in your deep brain and in your heart, there is a cake under that icing, which is your real feelings. And that's why when Daddy said, okay, son, shall I just go home and never come back again and leave you alone forever? I asked you that twice. And both times I asked you that, you went white and felt sick. And I'll tell you why you went white and felt sick and felt all dizzy. It's because I confronted you. I forced you to look deep inside and to see that, oh my God, if I tell Daddy yes, I'll never see him again and I will lose my dad forever. And that's what made you go white and feel sick. Are you listening? Are you listening?
Yeah.
That's what made you go white and feel sick. Because your inner feelings stopped you from saying, yes, Daddy, I want you to leave me alone and go away. Because that's not what you really want. I know what you really want. And you have to dig it up. And that's why you need to think and uncover that icing, what Mummy's put on top of your true feelings. Mummy's dream is for you and her to live together, you and her alone forever. You'll never have a girlfriend, she won't let you have one, and you'll have to stay with her forever. And she won't let you have a dad, and she won't let you have anybody else, or an Uncle Paul, or an Auntie Goy, and she'll do everything she can to stop you from wanting to come to Thailand. And she's trying to make you, by the time you're 10, she's trying to make you have it in your head that you're going to say, I don't want to go. And she'll get you to write that down, and she'll take it to a judge, and she'll make a judge say, okay, he doesn't have to see his father ever again. And so unless you're careful, son, your mother will make sure that you never see me again. And I swear that on Nana's grave. My mum used to say it, and me and Paul said it all our life, because my mum's mum was also a nana. And so when you say something that's true and you don't lie, to let the other person know that you're telling the truth. I would never dare to tell a lie and say, I swear on my mother's grave, and I swear on Nana's grave, and I swear to you on my Nana's grave and on my mother's grave, let me drop dead straight away. May God strike me dead with a lightning flash if I'm telling a lie. That your mother is trying to make you reach the age of 10, and by the time you're 10, change your feelings that you say, I don't want to go to Thailand. Because she is shitting her pants that when you reach 10, she can't stop me from coming and taking you on holiday. And she's going to try everything she can to stop you. And part of that is brainwashing you to not want to come. But you know what? It's a great house here, and you'll have a great time when you come. So why the hell should you not want to come? Why the hell should you not want to go to the virtual room? Why the hell should you not want to go to Universal Studios? Yeah, she doesn't teach you to not want to go to virtual studios, does she? As long as it's with her. I've been kind, son. I've let Mummy come with us always, except the last time. And the last time I didn't let her come because she locked me out of the room at the Siloso and made me go home and leave you alone on your birthday. When I'd come all that way and paid for that room to come and see you. And that's why she's not coming with us anymore. If not for you, I would say let's just all go together as a family, because that's what you want, son. That's why on the last day we went out together, and the day before when we went to eat at the... Do you remember that Philippine meal? I liked that squid. Well, whose idea was that to invite Mummy? It was my idea, son. I still had the kindness, even though she locked me out of my room and made you wake up wondering where Daddy had gone at the Siloso. She'd do that to me, but I wouldn't do it to her. Yeah? And I wouldn't tell her, I wouldn't let her message you all day and not make you answer. I'd say, look, there's a lot of messages from your mum. Answer her, for God's sake. Bad manners, boy. Daddy's in a bad mood because of this, because you never answer me and because of what your mum's doing. And that's the scary bit about Daddy, when Daddy tells people off. Because when Daddy tells people off, he's got a scary face and a scary voice. I can't help that, son. It's the way my voice and face was made. It actually stops people from hitting me because they're scared. So actually it helps me in life. I don't need taekwondo. Right? Because they never even think about hitting me. I look too scary. But I'm not scary, son. It's just my face. So, do you want to come to Thailand or not? Do you want your right to Article 10? You know what Article 10 is, don't you? Son? Angelo, answer. Angelo? Son? Hello?
Hello?
I'm asking you a question, son. Do you want your right to come and see Daddy when you want to? Do you want your right to be able to see relatives? You know what relatives means? Your family. Do you want your right to talk to any of your family and go see any of them when and if you want to? Do you want that right? Come on, son. Do you understand the question? Angelo, answer me and stop listening to your mother. She's trying to brainwash you and tell you what to say. Answer. Angelo? Son? Angelo? Angelo? Angelo, will you answer me, please? Hello? Hello? Hello, Angelo? Angelo? Angelo, stop listening to your mother and answer the question. Hello, Angelo? 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 Son?
I told you I'm thinking.
You didn't tell me you're thinking. You went silent because your mother called you over and she's telling you what to say. And you're allowing it. Are you going to say what you think or what your mother tells you what to say? Now, I'll ask you again. Answer the question, son. Do you want the freedom to leave and enter Singapore to be able to visit family if you want to? If you want to. I'm not asking, do you want to have to leave Singapore? I'm asking you, do you want the freedom to leave and enter your own country to visit your dad or your uncle or whoever? Do you wish to have that human right? What are you thinking, son? Explain your thoughts to me. Try to explain. Well, laddie Lou. Angelo? Son? Son? What you doing? What you doing, son? Angelo? Hello, Angelo. Hello, Angelo. Angelo? Angelo? Can you hear me? See? Listening to your mother again. You're not going to answer the question. I need you to answer the question, son. Can you hear me? Angelo? You've muted it, haven't you? So your mother can talk to you. Your mother's muted it so that she can brainwash you. You can hear no sound coming from this iPad now. Angelo? Angelo? Angelo?
Bunny, he says he'll go call you later.
You just muted it to brainwash him. I asked him a question and I want that answer. And I want it now without your interference. I've asked him if he wants his right to travel or not. Now I heard you mute it. This is being recorded. I've got the goodness to tell you that. And you could hear you muting it so you can talk to him. And every time I ask him this question, you mute it so that you can tell him what to say. Now I want him to speak for himself. And I'm going to ask him on FaceTime visually today. And I'm going to make him shut the door because you're not supposed to interfere. It's unsupervised FaceTime. And I want to ask him the same question and I'm going to get the real answer out of him. And if not, we're going to take him to a psychologist and leave him alone with the psychologist without you and me, and he will get the real answer out of him. So either way, you're either going to make his life harder or you're going to let him answer the question. If he wants the right to travel, to see his relatives, and the right to leave and enter his own country for purposes of family reunion. And I'm going to explain it in every way I can until an 8-year-old can understand. Because I want him to say on tape that he doesn't care or that he wants his right. And I'll respect whatever he says, but it has to be a non-brainwashed response. And you just muted it to stop him from answering. So I will speak to him later, yes. But these 2 recordings are going to Jennifer Yokstad at the United Nations Children's Rights to add to all of the rest of the files. So I'll see you at 7:30. And apart from that, argument's over. Happy New Year, and I hope you all have a nice day. Okay?